episode of Moving Our World. I'm Callum and we are with Brody.
Hey.
I met Brody about 4 days ago, maybe a few more days than that. But he was just outside my work. Yes, I do have a full-time job. And he was in this car and I couldn't help but strike up a conversation with the guy. Basically, that's all I've been doing ever since I started this channel, just talking to random dudes on the side of the road and approaching them about their vehicles. But this is a Porsche, and this is the first Porsche I've been in for a long time. Ever since I was a kid, basically. I went in a little 928 when I was a kid for about 200 metres up the road. And that was it. So this is a Porsche 944, 1984 model.
Yes.
Alright, I'll rattle off some facts you can confirm and deny. These were supposedly produced from 82 to 91, so they had a decent run. 9 years. The front engine rear wheel drive, which was not super traditional for Porsche until the model before this came along, which is the 924.
Yeah.
So this is a follow-on from the 924, and then this is the predecessor to the 968. But it's got a 2.5 litre engine and it's a 4-cylinder, and it's basically half of the 928's engine. But they also, super typically Porsche, when it developed it so incredibly much that
there's like no parts anymore.
Nothing interchanges at all. Yeah, 100%. With that stuff out of the way, there's a couple of glaring obvious things we need to talk about straight away. The person that bought this brand new optioned it as an automatic.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me about how you came across this car. Like, what's your story? Were you looking for a second car, or were you kind of like in the market for a vehicle? Were you looking at anything and everything, and this came up?
Sort of. Yeah. My first car. So this is my second car.
Okay.
So I'm only 20 years old. My first car I got when I was 15. It was a 1986 Japan import 5-speed manual 190E, Mercedes 190E. Loved that car, wicked. And I had it for like 5 years. Loved it. Learned how to drive in it. Did everything in it. And then eventually, just as you do, got bored.
Yes.
And sold it to a guy who walked up to me in the Bunnings parking lot. Said, "How much do you want for it?" I said, $8.5 grand. He said yes. Essentially, I was just happy. I bought it daily in the meantime. And then this came up for sale on Facebook, and it was a really sketchy listing. There was like 2 photos. It looked like crap.
Looked like a scam.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, it'll be a cool little project. Like, I can fix it up, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my parents went up to look at it, and I was working, unfortunately, and I got a call from Dad saying, "If you don't buy this, I will. This thing is mint underneath." And
peer pressure on.
Yeah, so I got the last sub 10k 944 in the country, for sure.
Wicked. That's epic, man. So that kind of touches on the value of this thing. So that's super cheap. That's cheaper than any kind of Silvia these days, any Skyline.
100%.
I see a lot of these days people kind of gravitating towards Euros. There's a bit like the BMW scene's come up huge.
Definitely.
Lately, Mercedes, stuff like this. But yeah, it's interesting that you chose this out of everything. I mean, you've grown up with Euros by the sound of it.
Definitely, yeah. No, so my dad's raced a lot of European cars at the time. A couple of Porsches, a lot of Mercedes. His most recent one being a
Did you say raced?
raced,
Okay.
yeah. So he did the NZGT series for a while. His main car being a Hillman Imp, and then he's gone to a 190E as of recently. So
I have one watcher who loves Hillman Imps.
Oh, really?
There's a video of him on YouTube from one of the big US YouTubers came over quite a few years back.
Yeah.
Speed bump somewhere here. Maybe not. It's on the other side. And yeah, they are the Smoking Tire channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So his car on that one had a, I think it was a Hillman. It was like a Vauxhall maybe, or something with a Mazda V6 in it.
Wicked.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So he's also putting a Goldwing engine into an Imp, I think, as well.
Yeah, they would work.
Yeah.
So my dad's Imp was roof chopped, lowered, wide. They had a custom wide body on it as well.
Yeah.
And it had a turbo STI boxer in it.
Okay.
In the middle of it. So
Yeah.
he moved it from the rear to right behind the driver's seat, so the weight distribution was perfect, and that thing was terrifying.
Yeah, I bet. Absolutely. No, that's wild.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's where the inspirations come from.
Yeah, most definitely.
And you did mention that he has a pretty wicked Mercedes still.
Yes, yeah. So that thing's got the 5.6 litre V8 out of the 560 SEC.
Yeah.
Which is put into it, which fits in way too nicely. And that thing's beautiful.
What history do you know about this car? So what do you know about it? Do you know how many owners it's had? And
it was so NZ new car, which was a massive like green flag for me. The first owner's name was Kathy Jones. She was in Auckland, and essentially she just went through and ticked every single option box that was available. So there was like electric mirrors, electric sunroof, electric windows, and the automatic, which to the best of my knowledge, was around like a $10,000 option.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
The manual tax doesn't really apply to these as much, so there's not a massive difference. So once my parents bought it, did the deal for me, I drove up to Auckland to meet them halfway, and drove it home. It looked like crap. The paint there was no reflection in the paint. I didn't tell anyone. Only one of my friends knew for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And in that 2 weeks, I gave it a full overhaul, full cut polish over the course of 2 days.
Yeah.
And got it to this point. And then since then, it's been a dream. I have not had any issues. All I've done is put wheels on it. And yeah, it's just no issues at all. Oh, my hatch is open. Apart from that, that's an issue. We're gonna fix that one.
It's amazing. Well, stop here. We'll turn right here.
Yeah, so
That's good.
that has not happened in a long time.
That's alright. I can edit it out or leave it in at the
Oh,
end.
you gotta leave that in. That's hilarious.
Okay, sweet.
As I'm talking, no issues, and then the fucking hatch opens.
I could just start smelling the exhaust.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
How good.
There we go.
I thought that was
Little do people know the Nova 4 came with an adjustable downforce, which is the hatch opening when you hit bump.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those spoilers that happens at high speed.
Spins the 245s.
Yes, nice. So it does have some power. It's they put out like not a dramatic amount of power.
I think this was 151 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's enough. It's a momentum car. It's one of those cars where, I mean, there's not a tremendous amount of aftermarket support for them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's not much I'd really change.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a couple of like little paint imperfections I want to do, but like I've seen some guys who put front lips on them and wings and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know, they're just such a beautifully designed car from factory, so I'm not too bothered.
You've got pop-up headlights that they work.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you look at all the interior here. There's a whole bunch of gauges. You've got your oil pressure here, clock, aircon work.
No.
It blows air?
It blows air. It does not blow cold. But
That
to be honest,
counts.
the sunroof comes off and I can put it in the boot, so I don't need that.
Yeah, sweet.
You should go right there.
Yeah, sweet. Cheers, mate. We just took some shots in the rain. This is the guy that bought his old car. That's weird.
That's fucking crazy.
I just heard him say 5-speed manual and then I was
Yeah.
like, wait, we just talked about that.
I was like, that's my car. He has it in the garage. I haven't seen it in like since I sold it.
Are you gonna go have a look?
Yeah, once you finish this, we'll go into that.
Yeah, sweet. Alright, cool.
There she is. Oh, still on the same wheels.
I haven't changed the thing, bro.
Oh, you legend.
Still as nature intended, my friend. Not a thing. Not a thing.
So sick.
Oh my god, I fucking love this car.
Won't change a thing, brother.
Memories.
Man,
Gotta go sit in it, man.
I've got it.
I said to
Yeah.
you, man, anytime you want to take it for a drive, I said that to you, right?
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, God, I was just like, I'd love to see it again. Yeah. Wicked.
Yeah.
No way.
The only thing I noticed, a bit of contact glue that must have been put there previously had come away, so I'm just going to do a repair on that. But other than that, she's fine.
My dad did that. Oh, my dad fixed what the last guy had stuffed up.
No,
so
no stress, no stress.
Get him to fix it.
How's that feel now, brother, eh?
That's whack. Damn.
How long's it been since you've been in this thing?
Oh,
When did I get it off you? I don't know, it must have been
probably about a year ago now.
over about a year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so
Wow.
crazy.
It's still under 160,000 Ks.
Dude. When I said I was going to look after her, I tried my best, right?
Yeah, awesome. Whack. That's so sick.
And everything, when I said to him, because I spoke to him first in Bunnings car park, mate.
Yeah,
I've told
yeah,
the
he
story.
did say that to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but it was just because I knew that everything did that, right? Like
Yeah.
everything was just...
Perfect. Thanks for letting us have a look at this, man. This is going
Oh,
well.
no
When we get a photo, I'll send that to Dad. He'll crack up.
Yeah, he
He'll
will.
think I bought it back. I sent a text to the family group chat saying, boy, oh boy, do I have a story.
You won't believe me. No, seriously. You
Some of
won't
it's
believe.
So random.
Yeah, man. What were the original tyres? Do you know what they were?
215?
215, and what are they? 15s, are they?
15s, yeah.
Yeah, and then what are these on there now?
245s in the rear, 225s in the front.
Yeah, and are they what diameter?
17s.
17s, yeah. Sweet. Okay, you sit inside this thing, and it's like the designers were basically put into, this is going to sound a bit crude, put into a boardroom in the 80s, given a whole bunch of cocaine and said, make a car. And they did. And it's got like square waffle covered speakers and everything's just like 80s personified. I mean, I guess a lot of the, are these, I know on the 924, the door latches.
Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't mention the Volkswagen word here. That's a swear word. Tell me the story about those wheels.
The story of the wheels, and I'll send you this photo. So, I'm just going to predate back a little bit. So, 2 days before I bought this car, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'd actually seen this car for sale for about a week before that. And I'd seen it, but I was like, oh, it's an auto, do I want it?
Yeah.
And then 2 days before I decided to buy it, I was out at Okarori, and I saw a white 944 turbo on these wheels.
Okay.
And they stopped making these wheels like 6 years ago. They're super hard to find. They're a roof replica, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to find a genuine roof wheel for under bloody 20k in these dimensions.
Yeah.
And I saw a white turbo 944 on these wheels, and I stared at that car for like 30 minutes, almost getting emotional because it was just like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I got home the next day, and then it was then that I decided to buy this one.
Okay.
And then so like 4 or 5 months go by and couldn't find any wheels. They resell for quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
And then someone on my Instagram asked me what wheels I wanted for my car, and I posted a photo of that car saying, hey, this is what I want.
Interesting. Okay.
And a guy, this is where it gets weird, a guy who owned the 924 that I bought as a parts car while it was on the road works for the company that imported these wheels, and he told me there's one set left in Christchurch and then he could ship them up for me for $2,000.
That's so wild.
So full set for $2,000.
That's crazy. And so did they come with those handicaps?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how they came.
There's no other branding on them, so they're a full boutique rep is what they call them, but that's it.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's wild, man. No, that's really cool. So you obviously have a full-time job, but that's a business of your own. So you're a bit of an enterprising young dude, and that's arguably not probably the thing that holds your passion as much as your other main activity.
Yeah,
but
so
still up there, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. So I mean, I'm a musician at heart, always have been.
Yeah.
I partnered with 2 other guys, and we created a program called the Jam Bus, which is really cool. It's just it's a music program inside of a bus that I can drive from school to school and educate kids with. But outside of that, I also run a photography company called Killing Back Photo, in which I just take photos of cars, and quite often people will approach me, or if I see a cool car, I'll approach them, and more aiming for that sort of retro European stuff because there's not a massive market for it. I mean, like I always say to people, you know, if they have any particular ideas or anything, I'm more than willing to obviously include that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people see my style and they go, yep, I want to work with this guy, and they just say, book a shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And quite often, like, I shot a Type RA STI Subaru recently.
It honestly looks so
photos,
good.
Yeah. And the moment I saw that car, I knew exactly where I wanted to shoot it, so I did. My theory when it comes to photography is trying to capture the vibe of what the car was intended to be.
Okay. Yeah. So kind of almost period correct photography.
Definitely. It definitely actually increased my appreciation for JDM. Just because I was a Euro kid, and the real awakening point for me was a couple of months ago. I did a trip down to Wellington from here, shooting a whole bunch of cars on the way and coming back up, fully paid. Managed to get the whole trip fully paid just in shoots, which is awesome.
That's incredible.
And there was this one guy I was shooting, Shane, wicked guy. He has a 1,000 horsepower R32 GTR and a Evo 9 GT in yellow, and apparently there's only 70 of them in the world.
Far out. Okay.
So he booked a shoot with me to do this Evo 9, and when we showed up, I was with another friend, he gave me the keys. And so we got to take this Evo 9 GT out for a rip to go and get photos.
Yeah.
And driving that car is what turned me. I was like, okay, I get it. This is wicked.
Yeah, there is a reason for this to exist.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, it's wicked, man. It's so cool to kind of jump in this car, have a bit of a drive with you, learn a bit more about the guy that I just met outside my work about 7 days ago. Yeah. And I had an absolutely wild time just talking with you at the car outside work. Yeah, nice. Nice.
The couple behind me's doing the same thing.
They would have been frothing on you doing it. Yeah. I would be. And that's the thing I guess it's worth touching on, is that until you become an enthusiast about a certain brand or vehicle, when you become an enthusiast about a certain brand of vehicle, you completely forget the general public's perception, who has absolutely no idea about Porsche other than they exist.
Yeah.
All Porsches are the same to them.
Yeah.
They're all equally as cool.
Well, I describe like Porsche as like the Fleetwood Mac of the car world. It's like, when do you ever find someone who doesn't like Fleetwood Mac, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's classic, it's cool, it's timeless.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. It's true. Well, thank you so much for this. We're going to keep driving and doing some stuff, but I guess we'll need to sum this up. Social media plugging time.
You can follow me, number one, at Killingback Photo. If you're interested in cars. You can follow me at Van Brooks if you're into music.
Yeah.
And you can follow me at the Jam Bus NZ if you're into teaching music.
Okay, sick. All learning.
All learning.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's really cool, man. The way I hope this channel works is that we'll be able to catch up in periodic times when you've got different vehicles and
100%.
doing different things. And need to find some musicians and just go on a jam bus adventure as well, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. But thank you so much for your time. This has been my first proper Porsche experience, and I'd say it's probably the best entry into the world of Porsche
Definitely.
that anyone could ever ask for.
Definitely.
Even like with the sunroof dripping on me. That's fine, man. It's character, everybody.
100%. There you
Yeah.
go.
No, it's fine. I don't mind. It's cool. Awesome. All right, well, we'll cut it there.